England. Well, welcome along everyone to Stoke City Stadium. There have been fans here already for hours, and the energy, as you can hear, is bouncing because the European champions are back in town. 37 days on from bringing football home, England women return to home soil. A packed out stadium to host Luxembourg in their final World Cup qualifier, and a win today, the Lionesses will go through with a 100% win record, and the party can already begin thanks to their victory over Austria on Saturday, which saw them confirm their place for the tournament in Australia and New Zealand next year. Well, the former England defender Laura Bassett is with me to watch this one, and Laura, this is a homecoming that the players deserve, but Sarina Wiegman will be thinking there is still a job to be done here.
Yeah, that's right. You can hear in her interviews and the standards that she sets and the expectations, you know. Look, they'll certainly want to enjoy this occasion tonight, celebrate all the things they have done over the summer and qualifying such a perfect record, but also she'll be expecting a performance tonight from her players.
Well, before the anthems, we saw recently retired Jill Scott, who carried the Euro 2022 trophy to the centre of the pitch, and of course really well received with lots of cheers going around. And at the moment the PA is just going through the England squad, so I'll do exactly the same. We are used to seeing pretty consistent team selection from Sarina Wiegman during the Euros. However, tonight she's named 3 changes to the side that beat Austria 2-0 on Saturday. Ellie Roebuck, Rachel Daly and Nikita Paris start. Mary Earps, Millie Bright and Lauren Hemp all drop to the bench. So the team in full then: Ellie Roebuck in goal. Across the defence, Lucy Bronze is now 2 short of 100 caps. Captain Leah Williamson alongside Alex Greenwood and Rachel Daly on the left. In midfield, Georgia Stanway is joined by Ella Toon, who's playing in the number 10. Making her 50th appearance for England then is Kira Walsh as well. Big day for her. Then the front line for England sees Nikita Paris, who scored against Austria on Saturday, and Alessia Russo, who was also in amongst the goals on Saturday, is joined by Beth Mead as the front 3. As for Luxembourg then, Dan Santos also naming 3 changes to his side since that game against Northern Ireland, the 2-1 defeat. They are without the services of Amy Thompson, who scored in that defeat. She was sent off following 2 yellow cards, second yellow actually coming from her celebrations. Marta Garcia and Naomi Tiberi both drop out. So we are almost ready to get underway. England playing in their bright orange or red kit, don't know which one you can call it. Laura.
Orange I'm going with, I think.
We'll say orange. And the players take the knee. So all orange socks, orange shorts, orange t-shirts. Luxembourg in their dark blue socks, dark blue shorts and their light blue tops, which is actually quite difficult to see because their numbers are white on their backs, so it doesn't help us out in commentary when we're trying to figure out who's who and what positions everyone's playing in. But the last time these two sides met, England beat Luxembourg 10-0 in the reverse fixture. Sarina Wiegman stressing though she still wants to see a ruthless team performance today, and we are underway in Stoke. England, the Lionesses, back in action 37 days from that historic victory, and you can see already, Laura, the fans that are here are in such good spirits. It does feel like a party atmosphere already, and the pressure off for England obviously, but they will still want to perform. Yeah, they certainly will. Look, and this is a chance to impress Sarina. We're 10 months out from the World Cup, you know, so any opportunity you want to impress, you want to make good decisions and cause a lot of havoc for this Luxembourg team. Lucy Bronze with the ball now on the right, playing it through to Kira Walsh in midfield, looking to place it across to Beth Mead, but it was quickly intercepted by Luxembourg, who looked to come forward, but Lucy Bronze quickly back to it to get that possession back and put England in the driving seat. Now Nikita Paris on the right side, trying to get around, and this is a nice bit of skill from Paris. Looks to place it across. This is an early opportunity, still not quite cleared away. Shot could come in, I think it might be. It's Georgia Stanway who was coming in, but went down in the area. The referee this evening not giving that one. She went down. It was not too much in it, Laura, but we can see in our replays now, definitely contact there. Yeah, there was. It was a really strong tackle, but initially good play from Nikita Paris down the right hand side. We saw on the Saturday against the game against Austria, she has a lovely delivery into the box, and that's the first time getting the ball into the box
And that's what Georgia Stanway does. She reads, assesses where the ball's going to drop, and she lands on that second ball, that second phase. And she certainly makes the Luxembourg defender make a really well-timed tackle.
An all-Swiss officiating team this evening. Simona Gisletta is the referee. And the ball back to the right side now with Lucy Bronze, who has recently joined up with Barcelona, having a couple of pre-match games already. You know, she's been right in the mix there in Spain, so it will be good to see how her season goes. Lovely ball over from Kira Walsh to find Nikita Paris, who looks to place it into the area for Alessia Russo, who can be so dangerous when she's in front of goal, but it was well blocked out in the end by Luxembourg.
Yeah, it really was. Again, Nikita Paris, I thought she took too much time and she tried to be too precise, didn't she? Really tried to find that forward, but you've got to beat that first defender who gets themselves goal side, channel side, and always going to look to clear it.
Bronze again, and to squeeze a way through and finds Stanway. Stanway back to Greenwood, who is playing the left side of the two centre-backs. And in the end was a little bit of a loose ball, and Lucy Bronze couldn't go for that because she would have been in an offside position.
But some good early switches of play from England. I think that's what, you know, they will have to be patient tonight. They will have to really make good decisions on the ball, when to go short, when to switch the play, when to put the ball in the box. You know, this Luxembourg look like they're deep, they're well structured. You know, there's not a lot of space in between the defence and midfield, so you know they have to look after the ball and be really tidy on it.
Walsh through to Bronze, having quite a bit of luck at the moment, England, on this right side, as Bronze finds Paris, who tries to play it through to Stanway, but it's well guided away by Luxembourg, and England have got their first corner of the match.
Like you say, this right hand side is really proving, you know, really worthwhile going down. Lucy, good connection already between Nikita Paris and Lucy Bronze, and with Georgia Stanway joining in.
So will be Alex Greenwood to take this corner then for England. Plenty of those bright orange shirts waiting around the area to receive this, as Greenwood sends the delivery in. Big header coming in as well at the near post by Leah Williamson, the England captain, and out it goes for another corner to England. 4 minutes played, England 0, Luxembourg 0 in this final World Cup qualifier here on 5 Sports Extra. England beating Luxembourg 10-0 in the reverse fixture, as Greenwood sends that corner in again, and it actually went to the nearest Luxembourg player, who were able to play it out. Now the ball in the centre of the field, back from Stanway through to Walsh, who was just waiting in that centre circle for this ball to arrive. And this is something that England will know that they will get in this game, is a lot of possession. But how do you cope with that as a player when you know you pretty much will have the ball 80% of the time?
Well, I think, you know, you just have to really switch on. You really have to look after the ball, look after your first touch, make sure that the pass goes to the right foot, the right side, away from the defender, so you're given a pass that's, you know, not going to stitch your teammate up or, you know, cause them any difficulties whatsoever. It has to have the right speed, intensity. You know, you have to often communicate and talk with the pass. That's how much detail it's got to be on, because like I say, there's not a lot of space in between this Luxembourg ranks. So, you know, when you do thread a ball through and go forward, it really has to have a lot of care.
Well, just seeing on our screens the Luxembourg manager Dan Santos, 40-year-old, became just the second Luxembourger to be named head coach, as he was named in 2020. Very short history actually that Luxembourg have got, not been in any major tournament qualifiers other than this one. And they are pretty much in the group that they're in Group D, the best of the rest. And in amongst it, England, Austria, Northern Ireland, all part of that. Lucy Bronze playing a lovely ball through for Stanway, just getting guided out. And at the moment, Luxembourg seem to have answers for what England are threatening.
Yeah, that's right. You know, as soon as England look to go forward, they're getting really tight in terms of when they tackle in. They're getting up to the ball, putting a foot in, spoiling England's play. And anytime they do get the ball, you know, they are looking to play each other or kick the ball out of play when they're deeper.
Well, it is Luxembourg with the possession now as they look to play it forward, but it was quickly recollected by Rachel Daly, who's one of the 3 changes from Serena Wichmann's side. There are a couple of empty seats inside this stadium. There are some reports of traffic issues around Stoke on the M6 and the A500. Some people actually abandoning their cars and trying to walk near towards the ground. So because we heard it was going to be a sellout, it's definitely not full at the moment. Plenty of people inside this stadium, but as we are hearing, some traffic problems getting to the stadium, which is why some people are having some difficulties. Hopefully that will ease and everyone who has got their tickets is able to come and watch this game, because what a moment this is as well, to watch the Lionesses, the reigning European champions, back in action since that victory at Wembley against Germany. And they'll try and come through again with Ella Toon, who is trying to make her way through on the left side. They've got it back with Walsh in midfield. Walsh playing a lovely ball into Paris, a little bit too much on there, and it's quickly grasped by the Luxembourg goalkeeper Lucy Schliemann.
Really good play from England there. Ella Toon losing the ball, but what I like, Beth Mead counter-pressing straight away. She didn't sulk or have poor body language. She got straight back on, won the ball back, gave it to Kira Walsh, and we saw the Kira Walsh-Nikita Paris link up in the last game against Austria on Saturday. So threatening, and that nearly came off for England then.
8 minutes gone. England 0, Luxembourg 0. It's now with Lucy Bronze, who's making a promising run forward and trying to get that ball across to Russo, who's waiting in the box, but again Luxembourg able to get away with it. And they did have a pretty tight contest really in their last game against Northern Ireland. It was Northern Ireland who came out on top, 2-1 winners, but Luxembourg able to get a goal thanks to Amy Thompson, who is their top goal scorer, almost got the most amount of caps as well for Luxembourg. She can't play today though. She's suspended after receiving 2 yellow cards from a celebration. So she had a yellow card already, and then she scored the goal, celebrated, was about to take her jersey off, realised she couldn't, and it was already too late. The referee got the yellow card out of her pocket, and then she was shown a red card, which was incredible really. I don't think I've ever seen that before, where she didn't actually take her shirt off, she was just threatening it.
Really harsh, isn't it, from a player's point of view? You're caught up in that moment. She's arguably Luxembourg's best player. You get the goal and just get caught up in the emotion, and you didn't, like you say, you didn't actually take your top off or take your shirt off, and still a really harsh assessment from the referee.
So they will have to do without her tonight. Luxembourg also naming 3 changes, actually 2 players on the pitch today, 16 years old, but it's now England who can try and come forward. Ball going into the box, dangerous area. Nikita Paris was rising above, and it will go out for another England corner. But again, England looking dangerous, Luxembourg able to come away from it.
Yeah, this is the first time Beth Mead shapes up 1v1. She jinks, get round, and it's in these crossing areas. We've got Nikita Paris and Alessia Russo in the box ready to attack.
Well, they've taken it quickly, England, and Bronze just carrying the ball to the centre of the field. It's now with Walsh, who is halfway into Luxembourg's half. Bronze back through to Greenwood. Now an overlapping run from Ella Toon, who just look to place it to the feet of Nikita Paris. And it was guided out in the end by Catherine Harve, the 26-year-old centre-back for Luxembourg. Now it's Toon. They'll try again. Russo goes in. Was she tripped up? She was, and it's a penalty to England. And within 10 minutes, England have an opportunity to break the deadlock. Alessia Russo was fouled inside the area. The ball was coming in, and it was Catherine Harve for Luxembourg who just tripped her up.
Yeah, she really did. Ella Toon just plays a simple ball into Alessia Russo, and she takes it one way, and it was a really strong tackle from Harve, just hacks at her leg.
So Georgia Stanway will take this penalty kick for England as she hopes to make it 1-0. Stanway steps up, good penalty, and you can hear from the cheers that Georgia Stanway scores for England. They're 1-0 up against Luxembourg. They've broken the deadlock within 10 minutes, and England lead 1-0. A really good penalty, confident in the bottom corner. Not really a big reaction from the manager, Serena Wiechmann, but you don't really expect that anyway, do you?
No, I think, and look, in those big moments, who do you want to turn to? Georgia Stanway. She's brilliant at set pieces. The keeper actually goes the wrong way, reads her body shape and where she's going, but there's that much power, and it's always going away from the goalkeeper. It's a really hard one to save, so all credit to Georgia Stanway there. We just see a wry smile from Serena.
Georgia Stanway 6 goals in World Cup qualifiers. This is her 7th in the qualifying rounds. Her 2nd penalty she scored as well. Stanway from the spot. England ahead 1-0. Almost played. 12 minutes now here on 5 Sports Extra in this final World Cup qualifier, as England are now on their way to Australia and New Zealand, which all gets underway next year. And these are the preparations that they can start looking forward to. I'm sure many of the fans inside the stadium will be looking at booking their tickets to fly across the world and see the Lionesses in action, and what an occasion that will be as well, to have it in 2 different countries, Australia and New Zealand.
And what 2 beautiful countries they are, Peen.
Yep.
You know, fabulous. They really support their home nations too, so I expect some big crowds again, like we saw at the Euros.
Oh, Mead did really well on the left side, just weaving her way through a couple of those light blue shirts that were surrounding her. Now it's Ella Toon who plays it into Russo. It was a good save at the end. Russo right in front of goal and actually palmed away by Schlieme, the Luxembourg keeper.
Again, Ella Toon finds herself centrally. You know, she's got time to play forward. She finds her teammate Alessia Russo, who turns, and you know, she's really central to goal. She probably could have done better by her standards, but again, like you say, Schlieme in goal. Luxembourg goalkeeper makes a good solid save.
Just 18 years old, Lucy Schlieme. England had a corner and they've taken it quickly, and the shot comes in. I think it was Beth Mead that had a go. It was from the edge of the area. And that is the one thing of this stadium in Stoke. Very high up commentary position. England with their bright orange kits and Luxembourg with their light blue shirts. And this is an occasion for them, one of the biggest games that they will have played in terms of crowd and stadium wise, and the team that they're playing against too. But it's Luxembourg who have got an opportunity to attack now. They're trying to come forward, but again, England so organised as they come back and move in their paces, and then just not letting Luxembourg have any chance to come through.
There's a good little spell for Luxembourg. You know, Miller in the centre midfield travels, she drives with the ball, tries to commit, and it was a 2v3 England defenders at the back, but like you say, England just recover so well. They don't let them have another forward pass and just really kind of stifle the transition and the Luxembourg attack out. But again, might be noticeable in midfield, Miller, she travels well with the ball.
Yep, Laura Miller, the Luxembourg captain. And it's Lucy Bronze who has the ball now on the right, moving away infield. It was actually dispossessed, but she quickly got it back. Now Lucy Bronze trying to come forward. This is Stanway who collects and decides to go back to the captain, Leah Williamson, who's wearing the number 5 on the back of her shirt. Alex Greenwood with the number 6. And now Beth Mead on the left side, just being closed out by those Luxembourg players who are right on top of it. They know the danger that Beth Mead has. Back out to Walsh. Now Bronze on the right, and then picked up quickly by Stanway, and now we've got Greenwood and Williamson playing it between themselves. 15 minutes gone. England leading by a goal to 0. Ball landing to the feet of Russo. Just has to wiggle her way out because she's being surrounded by Luxembourg players. Ball comes in by Daly, headed away again, but back in by Russo. Now Bronze. They're testing Luxembourg, this England side. They are putting the crosses in. They're just not quite able to find that finishing touch yet. Ball across, but it's headed out. Back in it goes, and Toon will pick this up on the edge of the area. Beth Mead is the option to the left. Mead into Russo! And Russo just misses the target. Narrowly close.
A really nice move there. Toon out to Beth Mead, who actually crosses with her left foot. And Alessia Russo makes the movement from central to that near post. And it just goes off target, but a really nice move.
England 1, Luxembourg 0 in this World Cup qualifier on 5 Sports Extra. 16 minutes gone, and England leading thanks to a penalty kick converted by Georgia Stanway, who we know is so comfortable when she is in those big pressure moments, and scores from the spot. Already scored 2 in the World Cup qualifiers from the spot, 7 goals in qualifying for her. Nice little turn from Rachel Daly on the left side just to get away from the Luxembourg attacking players, who are currently playing in a 4-4-1-1 formation, but it's Bronze who's got some space to run into on the right side. Paris is asking for it, but it was ushered away, but it rebounds out back in from Williamson, and the header's there, and I think it came off Russo, who was there right time, right place again. England have got their second, and there was nothing the goalkeeper could do about that.
I was actually going to say, Pete, the amount of crosses we've had so far, you know, and Luxembourg are doing so well to get that first contact, so well, but that ball from Leah Williamson, they defend it well in that first phase. Second phase, if you deliver it quick, and again that deep run on the blind side of Alessia Russo. Lucy Bronze tries to cross it first time, it gets cut out, and again, but the quicker Leah Williamson delivers it, she doesn't need a touch, delivers it straight back into that area, and Alessia Russo doesn't miss from there, maybe 3-4 yards out. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about that.
Well, it was quite congested in the penalty area. They tried to clear it away, Luxembourg, but they weren't stopping. Alessia Russo scored just 7 minutes into her first World Cup qualifying start against Austria on Saturday. She's off the mark, 18 minutes on the clock. England leading Luxembourg by 2-0. And they'll try again. The ball on the far side with Ella Tu. And it's been cut out. And this is one of the things, isn't it, for Luxembourg, the age of their squad. Caroline Georges, who is the right side of midfield, is only 16 years old. Then one of the forward players, Charlotte Schmidt, also 16. 3 players that are just 18 years old. So an incredibly young team playing against a very experienced Lionesses side.
And it's really encouraging for the manager. I think when you look at those players, you know, they certainly have a style of play, they have discipline, they've got good shape. So, you know, if you can carry on with the coaching and get this experience playing against the European Championship and full-time players, you know, that will only help them in years to come.
Toon decides to go from distance. It was a tame shot in the end. I think she knew it, because you can see the look on her face, was quite disappointed. It was just on the edge of the area as well. She saw a bit of space opening up and thought, why not? It was right in front of the D, actually, and she'll be disappointed with that effort in the end.
Yeah, I think a lot of self-talk in games like this. You know, often you see the goal light up and you have to really make the good decisions.
Well, Luxembourg almost dispossessed in their own penalty area by Russo, who was coming right in. Catherine Harvey is having a lot of work to do for Luxembourg as that centre-back that has to try and stop Alessia Russo from coming inside. It's quickly away by Peter Paris, but Luxembourg have got the ball back. Well recovered though by Rachel Daly, who has to come all the way from the other side of the pitch to get that ball back. But England in the possession again, who are leading 2-0 here in Stoke. 20 minutes played. How much will Luxembourg have learnt from that 10-0 defeat last year?
Yeah, I think if you look at the goals, I think they conceded 3 or 4 from set pieces.
Stanway with the ball across, turned to shoot by Toon, but again couldn't quite get this shot accurate enough to test the keeper.
And I think carrying on from what I was saying, you know, they've already defended set pieces a little bit better. They're really strong on the first contacts. It's the reaction and reading the game of the second contact, where the ball lands, you know, what they're going to do in that next phase, how they reorganise themselves. So you can see a few more improvements from a year ago.
Another corner then on the far side for England. In it goes! Oh, it's off the post. They've been able to keep it out. Back out it goes again. I think it might have been Greenwood who saw her shot just come off the woodwork right in front of goal as well. And that, in fact, Luxembourg do incredibly well to get that ball clear.
They do really well. There's certainly a lot of bodies, wasn't there? I think you're right. I think it was just a toe last minute that went towards the post.
Williamson at the back for England. It stays 2-0, although that was perhaps their best chance of the game to make it 3-0, because it was right in front of goal. And Alex Greenwood just couldn't see her shot go into the back of the net. The woodwork in the way. But Daly now for England, back to Williamson, and picked up by Kira Walsh, who makes her 50th cap for England. What a big day for her. We were saying actually before this game that she's never scored for England, but she's not one that scores many goals, but she's one that gets involved in a lot of goals. And the ball finds Ella Toone, who's trying to squeeze her way through. Russo will try and pick up. Beth Mead turns to take a shot, and it just goes over and wide. And it will be a goal kick.
Again, really simple play from England, good decision making. Georgia Stanway turns on the ball, she wriggles out, and she just plays the space. But really good defending from Kremer and Have in the end. And Beth Mead tries to do that curly shot that she's got to the far corner, but it just goes wide.
Well, we've just seen on the replays that Alex Greenwood chance, and her header hit the post and it came out right in front of Nikita Paris and Rachel Daly, both of them going for it, both of them missing it, which just bought Luxembourg a little bit more time to get that ball clear. So it's England 2, Luxembourg 0. Incredibly, during this World Cup qualification period, England have scored 70 goals and conceded none in their 9 victories, and this could be 3-0 because Alessia Russo was making her way inside the area, couldn't quite hold on to it, right in front of goal as well, but the goalkeeper Lucy Schliemann did well there.
Yeah, initially I thought Schliemann had made a poor decision. I thought she'd come too early and Alessia Russo was going to chip her, but all credit to Schliemann. She gets to the ball, gets both hands on it and really prevents Alessia Russo getting a shot off. She's certainly going to be in for a busy night, Schliemann.
She certainly will be. England leading 2-0, 23 minutes on the clock, and they've got another corner. And then as it's headed through, and it was Rachel Daly who got a strong header to it. Back out it goes to Bronze, and Stanway will pick this up on the edge of the box. Now Walsh finding that pass across on the left side to Beth Mead, who controls this well. She's looking for some support. It was Georgia Stanway is actually saying, I'm right here for you. Toone goes there and into the side netting. I think some of the fans inside this stadium thought that was going in, but the referee already blew a whistle before it. So, goal kick then for Luxembourg. Almost played 25 minutes, and the seats inside the stadium are slowly starting to get fuller and fuller. We heard about those travel issues that some people were having getting here. A nice turn actually from Dos Santos for Luxembourg to dispossess Beth Mead. Emily Dos Santos, one of the players for Luxembourg who's got quite a few caps. She's regularly starts, in fact she's started all 9 of their World Cup qualifiers. This is her 10th start in the campaign, and will be hugely beneficial for Luxembourg, won't it, these games, being able to, you know, how young and youthful that they are and how little experience they actually do have in major tournaments, to be part of this World Cup qualifying group and some big wins that they've got under their belts as well.
That's it. I think listening to some of their players' interviews, you know, no one expected them to win games, or actually they've won 3, so they're really impressive.
Ella Toone with a lovely ball through to Beth Mead, cuts it back, and there it is. It's 3-0, and it's Georgia Stanway again. She's got her 2nd of the evening. England have got their 3rd. It was a lovely movement down the left-hand side. Georgia Stanway right in front of goal inside the area. All she had to do was tap it home beyond Schliemann, and she did just that. England 3-0 up against Luxembourg in this World Cup qualifier.
A really simple goal. You know, Beth Mead manages to time her run. A left-footed pass, she pulls it back. You know, often we're seeing crosses go into the 6-yard box. They're quite predictable. But that cutback and the timing of run that goes to Georgia Stanway, hits it with her left foot, and it actually goes through the keeper's legs. You know, it makes it look so simple, but the weight of pass, you know, everything about that goal was really high quality.
So Georgia Stanway now on 13 goals for England in her 42 caps. Balls with Walsh through to Beth Mead. Back to Walsh it goes, and Daly, who's waiting on the left side just outside the area, cuts inside the penalty area, and it's quickly blocked out by Kremer, the Luxembourg centre back, and back out it goes to Alex Greenwood. Georgia Stanway now actually playing her football in Germany with Bayern Munich, joined on a 3-year deal in May from Manchester City. We will be seeing her in the Champions League.
Yeah, really interesting. I think it's a fabulous move. I would have liked to have seen her stay in the WSL selfishly, but for her, to challenge herself in a different league, it makes you grow up. You experience different things, your level of maturity, and I'm sure playing a different style of play under a different manager, a different culture, it's only going to take her to the next level of both a player and a person. So really excited to see how she gets on.
Well, Beth Mead just fouled on the right side, a couple of yards, about 5-6 yards outside of the penalty area, and it will be a free kick to England, and they prepare to take this. We were talking just then about the Women's Super League, which starts this weekend. 5 Sports Extra has commentary of Manchester City against Arsenal, Georgia Stanway's former club. That gets underway on Sunday evening from 7 o'clock. Full preview show as well, featuring interviews with the likes of Steph Olsen and Kira Walsh on 5 Live 2, as England take this free kick, and it almost worked out as Alex Greenwood tried to play that ball through to Beth Mead, but it was actually very well defended by Luxembourg. They saw it.
Yeah, really well read, but I'm a big fan of that. I think tonight, I hope England would have worked and had a few different set-piece routines, practice them in training and try them on nights like this, when you've got live defences.
Williamson looking to play that ball over the top to Beth Mead. Slightly too much pace on that for Beth Mead to get anything to it. And she does receive a thumbs up to her captain.
But going back to those set-piece issue, deliveries, it's because you can look back now on the videotape, on the film, and why didn't it work out? Why was the player, if a player stands there in the future, don't play that ball, play this ball? So actually, because sometimes when you rehearse it in training, everyone knows what's going to happen, so it's a little bit of a false situation. But games like tonight, be creative, really try and execute different things to see if they come off.
Well, Kimberly Dos Santos for Luxembourg is just crouching down, looks to have been a little bit of pain, so she will be getting some treatment. So we've got a stoppage in play at the moment, almost reaching the half-an-hour mark. England leading by 3-0. 2 of those goals coming from Georgia Stanway. Alessia Russo with the other goal, and as we speak about that, the screens are showing us those opportunities that have come in, and the Alessia Russo goal that happened on the making it 2-0. Lovely crossing actually from Leah Williamson. And Alessia Russo, who is just always in the right place at the right time. That's what she does.
Yeah, that's right. She reads the defender. Where's the defender going? Where's the space? And she just reads the situation. On that occasion, reading the flight of the ball. Where's it going to land? How much pace has it got on the ball? What do I need to do to direct the header? She just comes alive when balls like that are delivered into the box.
And Kimberly Dos Santos is just making her way to the sideline. She's walking off, so that's good news. Hopefully nothing too bad of an injury for her. Serena Wiegman, before kick-off and before the anthem, she was awarded her UEFA Coach of the Year award. Baroness Sue Campbell also there, handing the award to her. She's quite a humble woman though, Serena Wiegman, isn't it? You can tell she feels quite uncomfortable when the attention's on her.
Yeah, but I think what an accolade. There's nobody else was ever going to win that award, was there? But yeah, she's very humble and in her interviews on to the next thing, and she wants to win the World Cup, doesn't she? So knows it'll be tough, but yeah, very much shies away from the attention, but it is fully deserved.
Well, Krumer for Luxembourg tried to get that ball higher up and away, but it eventually just trickled out right in front, almost parallel to the penalty area on the left side for England, who have got the possession back now with Walsh infield, halfway inside the Luxembourg half. Now Bronze on the right side. Paris is ahead of her. She's also got options to her left with Stanway. Decides to go for Paris, who's making her way through. Gets the cross in. Header's there from Ella Toon, but couldn't quite get the connection to it she wanted. Will be collected though by Beth Mead on the far side. Squeezes away from those Luxembourg defenders, who are very quick to surround Beth Mead, as soon as she's on the ball, they haven't really given her much space at all.
No, that's right. And when Dos Santos went down, I was a bit concerned, because who are they going to replace her with? Because she has certainly been very busy, and she's giving Beth Mead a tough time down that left-hand side. You know, every time Beth Mead touches the ball, she's there pressurising, you know, getting her head down and forcing her to go round her or play quickly.
Greenwood playing it through to Daly. Daly spotted a nice looking cross for Nikita Paris, but it was firmly in the hands of Lucy Schliemann, the Luxembourg goalkeeper, but well spotted though by Rachel Daly, who is one of the 3 changes for Serena Wiechmann's side this evening. Again, a lot of people in the pre-match press conference asking Serena, are you going to make any changes? What will the team be? How strong of a team are you going to put out? And she definitely has gone strong, only the 3 changes. But every single player obviously vying for that starting place, because they have a big game coming up in October, which sees them play the #1 in the world, USA, at Wembley Stadium.
It's simply a mouth-watering tie, isn't it? I think every fan, every player, these players can't wait to play. Although they'll be enjoying this, playing with fun and freedom, you know, they'll certainly be wanting to go back to their club, get even sharper, get fitter, play some good football. And then that game at Wembley, it's sold out already. I know the Americans can't wait either. You know, world champions versus the European champions. It's, yeah, bring it on. I can't wait. It's definitely a date for the diary.
Have you spoke to any of the USA team?
No, not actually personally, but just the vibe over there for the coaches and the fans, and they can't wait. You know, they certainly don't shy away from these moments and these matches, and nor do our players, which is great, because they're winners now. They're champions. Do you want to go put on a show and test yourself the best of the best? And it's a early statement, isn't it, for whoever can, you know, certainly put on a show and stamp their authority that night.
Yeah, absolutely. USA, the current World Cup champions, lifting the World Cup in 2019 in France, beating the Netherlands. I was at that match actually as a fan. This is Kira Walsh playing that ball across. Nikita Paris couldn't quite get the connection to it, but she chases that ball back and has done really well actually to get hold of the ball, and the tackle comes in from Jessica Becker for Luxembourg, and it goes out for a corner to England.
We see that quite often. Nikita Paris can easily get round Becker, and just as she's looking up to play into the 18-yard box, Becker recovers well. You know, she might not have that initial physicality to get close to Nikita Paris and take the ball off her, but she certainly does on that second bite.
Alex Greenwood again to take this corner for England. A decent delivery, headed away, almost was an own goal, I think. They'll breathe a sigh of relief, because it was Laura Miller, the captain, who almost headed it into the back of her own net.
Yeah, I think these Luxembourg defenders are concentrating so much on getting that first contact, making sure an England player doesn't. But yeah, that certainly came off the top of her head, and I don't think she had no control over which direction it was going.
So another corner, another one taken, and it was punched away by Schliemann. Not a very good clearance, because it lands through to Toon, plays it back out to Greenwood, and Becker makes a hash of it, can't clear it away, and England have got themselves another corner. Just miscontrolled it from Jessica Becker. They've taken a slightly different approach this time, England, to that corner, as Greenwood tried to play it across the top of the penalty area through to Stanway. Again, it was seen though by Luxembourg. And these are the freedoms that England are playing with as they lead by 3-0, 35 minutes, and Ellie Roebuck gets a little cheer, because I think it might have been her first touch of the match.
Just making sure she's still awake and still switched on and concentrated. I'm sure Ellie Roebuck shouted for that ball. She's got it again now.
I think she actually wants to become an outfield player. She might need to put an orange jersey on.
She's enjoying these cheers. That's what it is. The cheers are louder than the goals scored.
You're so right. That is exactly what it is. She's enjoying it. Greenwood through to Williamson. Now England can start making their way forward, and nice bit of skill from Rachel Daly just to squeeze away. And now Stanway through to Ella Toon, who finds Bronze in quite a bit of space on that right side. Does well to get herself away from those Luxembourg players who surround her. 2 twins actually on the field for Luxembourg. Joanna and Mariana Magalhaes. But the ball is with Kira Walsh. Over the top it goes to Ella Toon, who actually her first touch wasn't great, but she was able to get the cross in to find Beth Mead on that far side. And her touch wasn't great either, it just took it away from it. Mead with the ball across, headed away by Becker from Luxembourg. Out it goes to Greenwood, and now Toon trying to play that ball through to Bronze, and eventually Becker got there before her, but it will be another corner. Must be corner number 10 now or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think the runs in behind, and Becker does really well to put it out for a corner, but they're the spaces, but it's just deciding, does the ball go to feet or does it go into the space, and it's just getting those decisions right.
So it's a short corner from Greenwood through to Toon. Nice little link-up play between Bronze. Good cross in. There's 4-0, and it's Rachel Daly who scores for England. That is a lovely movement from the Lionesses. From a corner kick, one-touch football. Rachel Daly was there to finish it off, and England lead 4-0.
A nice work corner initially, short to Ella Toon, who Megs. Bronze just sets her up in that. It's that deep. I think Luxembourg defenders, they try and come out with the play, but it's all mistime, mismatch, and it's those blindside runs right at the back. Rach Daly just, I think she calls it for Alessia Russo to leave it, and she just nods it in at the back post. Really well worked. Luxembourg are really finding it difficult to defend those deep crosses and those late runs.
So England 4-0 up, 38 minutes on the clock. Rachel Daly in and amongst the goals. And it so far has been a relatively comfortable evening for England, which we had expected, although Serena Wiegman very much urging a ruthless performance today, because every single player looking to put their place in through, as Rachel Daly finds her way through to Beth Mead. And it's 5. And literally a minute after Rachel Daly made it 4-0, Beth Mead makes it 5. And England fully in control in this game.
They're in their flow now, in their rhythm. Initially it's a good ball from Alex Greenwood. She's doing so well at the back, distributing the ball, but a good little combination play. And I thought Rach Daly was going to try and get it on her right foot, but she pulls it back to Beth Mead. And Beth Mead just dances through the defenders, chips it in. It does get a little deflection, but she does what she does best in that 18-yard box, dances. And the goalkeeper tries to make a save with her foot, but it hits it.
Well, if there's one person you would expect to be on a score sheet, it is Beth Mead, and she's on there. Russo now trying to come forward for England, but gets taken away by Laura Miller, who's actually been allowed to travel a little bit until she gets dispossessed by Ella Toon. Now Walsh back to Alex Greenwood. I was actually reading an interview that Beth Mead was doing, saying that Vivian Miedemar was joking with her that Beth Mead's only been nominated once for the Ballon d'Or. It's things like that you can tease two absolute outstanding football players, and only Vivian Miedemar can make that joke to Beth Mead.
Sometimes them jokes you just have to nod and appreciate and say, yeah, you're right.
Although I think after recent performances from Beth Mead, she'll probably be on that list a couple more times in the future. And, actually a free kick goes to Luxembourg. Georgia Stanway just getting in the way. And, it was interesting actually, after that 5th goal that Beth Mead scored, Luxembourg were very quick to get themselves into a huddle. And I suppose the message is just to not let their heads drop, because that is the danger, isn't it, when you are getting beaten so heavily.
Well, and that's right, it was 2 in 2 minutes, wasn't it? 2 or 3 minutes, so close together, and you just don't get a respite. So I think, they would have been saying in that huddle, let's not collapse, let's not fall like a pack of dominoes, get to half time so we can regroup, maybe make some changes, because this Luxembourg team have put in a shift in, they're playing at intensity that maybe they're not used to. Well, they're certainly not used to it. So, you know, it is about staying together as a team in that huddle, staying concentrated, staying switched on, try and be as robust as they can and get to half-time.
Walsh for England. Now Nikita Paris. Stanway's asking for it as she tries to squeeze her way through a tight spot. And again, was seen away by Catherine Harve, who you have to say for Luxembourg has been involved in a lot of the blocks and defensive involvements for Luxembourg. She's been right at it, just stopping England from trying to get through. There's another corner. This time it will be Beth Mead to take for England. So Alex Greenwood in the mix this time. So the ball comes across, actually missed by the keeper. Daly sends it back in. It was a bit of a scuffed shot really from Daly, but they managed to keep it alive. And they're very congested in that area as they try and come out, and now they're creating a bit more space, England, and they look to go again. Walsh playing it through to Ella too. As you can hear, the chants and the songs are starting to ring around the stadium. Beth Mead skips away, and Georgia Stanway is dispossessed. And good little spell from Luxembourg just to stop that attack from coming in, because it was getting quite crowded. In the end, Marissa Marquez, the player for Luxembourg, to get that ball away. So Lucy Bronze to take this throw-in. Almost reaching the half-time whistle. 2 minutes to go until we get to the 45. We find out if there will be any time added on. Walsh with the ball, finds Toon on the edge of the D, but it's taken away from her by Laura Miller, the Luxembourg captain. And now an opportunity for Luxembourg to come forward, and as they do, I think it might have been Charlotte Schmidt who was making that run forward, but it was quickly dispossessed. And again, you can hear from the cheers, Ellie Roebuck has got the ball in her possession.
You can tell when Luxembourg win back the ball. I think George and Miller, they link up well. They're the two, and Schmidt comes to get involved. They're the 2 or 3 players that look to try and combine, but they're just so far away from Ellie Roebuck's goal that, you know, it's easy for England players to get back and recover the ball. But they do try, and they do have a few bright sparks.
Mead plays it through to Stanway, and almost a lovely bit of skill from Russo to make it 6. Couldn't quite find the target though.
That run that Stanway makes in the half space, it's hard to mark, but she pulls the ball back, but it's got so much pace on that Alessia Russo has to hit it first time, and it just comes off her calf rather than her foot and goes out the back post. But again, that's the intensity, that's the pace that they've got to play with. They've just got to take care of a little bit more attention with the ball, but that's how you certainly get in and around this Luxembourg defence.
Nikita Paris with the ball across. And it was actually Beth Mead and Nikita Paris who have now swapped positions. So Beth Mead playing on the right, Nikita Paris on the left. Lucy Bronze has it though on the right, back to Mead. Does well to get through, finding Stanway, who's again squeezing her way through a tight spot as she gets crowded out, but Bronze cuts back to collect it. And now Greenwood through to Kira Walsh. Greenwood just finding her spaces, and we have seen there'll just be a minute of added time in this first half. Probably the amount of goals that England have scored have got to add to that 1 minute that we've got added on. Very comfortable opening first half for England as they lead 5-0. That's a lovely bit of skill from Beth Mead, finding Lucy Bronze, who was trying to go for Russo. It was a great delivery in actually, but Russo couldn't quite get there. Chance still alive though with Mead. Crosses it into Russo, punched away. Russo still there, and she just somehow can't find the back of the net. How on earth did that not go in?
Yeah, I don't know, but I must say, since Nikita Paris and Beth Mead have swapped over, you can see how much comfortable Beth Mead is. Some of the balls, the delivery has been superb, and they're getting a few more chances. But again, Alessia Russo, right time, right place.
And there goes the half-time whistle. A extremely comfortable opening first half for England women as they go in 5-0 up at the break. The opening goal coming from Georgia Stanway from the spot. She made no mistake. Then the 2-0 happened from Alessia Russo. Right time, right place. Good finish from her. Georgia Stanway got her second goal, making it 3-0. Rachel Daly also in on the action too to make it 4-0. And then within a minute, Beth Mead got the 5th goal for England. It's been a very comfortable first half, Laura. From what we can see, we know that they wanted a ruthless performance, and they're doing just that.
Yeah, they really are. There's been some really good high-level skill on show, and also what I've liked some of how quickly they're winning back the ball. Yeah, sometimes there are some sloppy passes or some great defending by Luxembourg, but it's how quickly their eagerness to win back the ball and start the attack again. And we've seen some wonderful goals and crosses and deliveries into the box, so I expect more of the same in the second half.
When you do go in at half-time 5-0 up, how much more energy do you need to put into a second half, or is that what's important, is to not let those energy levels drop and keep going to the same intensity you have been doing for the opening 45?
Yeah, definitely. It's your standards, it's a good habit. I think Serena will be wanting her players to make better decisions on the ball, you know, sometimes when to play to feet, when to play to space. When you're in a crossing situation, make sure it picks out an England player or gets in a really decisive area. I think she'll want to see more from the corners. You know, we've had 10 corners. You know, can we put Luxembourg even under more pressure? So there are some tweaks, but yeah, she'll certainly be driving standards, the energy levels, and certainly, you know, can you match the goals and the amount of final third entries that you had in the first half?
A word on tonight's opponents, Luxembourg, because it has been a tough opening 45 for them. They haven't been allowed to carry the ball forward at all. They haven't really threatened Ellie Roebuck, because we've heard it, as soon as she gets on the ball she gets cheers because she's not had any involvement in the game at all. How should they deal with this second half to not really let it get to them too much?
Well, I think their challenge is to keep the scoreline down, isn't it? Can you psychologically pretend it's 0-0? Can you really try and be robust, be ultra competitive? You know, can you keep yourself in a game? Can you go and get an attempt on goal? You know, I think that's a big target. But defensive-wise, can you keep good shape? Can you be disciplined? I think they'll be disappointed giving away a penalty, because that's an easy open door, isn't it, for England? So can you really try and match yourself up who you're playing against? You know, remember, these are full-time internationals, they're European championships, so really just give it your best and try what you can. Just don't come off the pitch with any regrets.
Well, it's been a busy opening 45 minutes. England going in at half-time 5-0 up. That was the voice of the former England defender Laura Bassett. Laura, go and get yourself a brew, enjoy the next 9 minutes or so to have a break. As we were mentioning during commentary, the new Women's Super League season gets underway this weekend. We absolutely can't wait for it to start. We'll have commentary here on 5 Sports Extra of Manchester City against Arsenal this Sunday evening. That gets underway from 7 o'clock. Liverpool are also back in the top flight after just one season. They start their campaign at Reading, and striker Leanne Kiernan told Juliet Farrington she can't wait for the new challenge.
I guess we're aware now that we'll be playing teams that's really going to attack us. So defensively becoming more solid as an 11, and just bringing a bit more, I guess, spark to the game. And we know that we have to step it up a level, and we're aware of that. And we've played some WSL teams in pre-season which have gone really well so far. So he's just bringing confidence to our game and just belief, really. And we're really looking forward to it.
Is it a situation where you can take the momentum of last season into a new season, or does it make a difference because you're playing in a league a lot higher with much bigger profile?
Well, a lot of players that we have in our squad have been playing in that league before, and we have a lot of internationals in that, so they're used to the high standard. And I guess listen, confidence is one of the main things in football, and we've gained a lot of confidence from last year, and hopefully we'll bring that into the league this year. Sort
of trying to learn a little bit about you. Is it right you turned down the number 9?
I don't know. Yeah, do you know what, I got a phone call from Beardy when I went to sign. He goes, "Oh Lee, I have the number 9 for you ready," and I goes, "Oh no, like I don't want that." And he goes, "What? I'm signing you as a striker." And then I was like, right, I'll ring you back. So I just said to my dad and my brother, he goes, he wants to give me the number 9, and I wanted the number 33 because I can't pronounce it right, and I just thought it'd be cool. And they were like, "Oh come on, Leanne, like this is not funny, like just take the number 9, go with it. So I took it, and do you know what, it's been quite lucky for me so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
But you've been saying that you're kind of a player who just likes to blend in the background rather than being, you know, given that prolific shirt number.
I guess like I'm quite maybe quite low key, and I feel like my personality, I'm quite bubbly and like to just go around everybody, and that I'm probably not the one with the luminous green boots like my roommate there. but no, the belief that Beardy has in me and a team, and to give me the number 9 shirt was a great start to becoming a Red, and hopefully I'll keep going strong.
Okay, so to get a little bit more on the number 9 shirt, it's such an iconic shirt number. Was that what was putting you off?
No, I quite like pressure, you know. I guess I've only ever worn number 9 once, and that was with my old club in Dublin. When I signed with West Ham for 3 years there, I was number 8, and then I went to my national team as number 8, and I never stepped foot in midfield, but that was just my number, and I quite liked it, you know, when you get used to a number. But no, I really like the number 9 now, and it was a really wise decision from my family to say go with it and just take it.
Your family are United fans though.
Do you know what? My dad's a United fan. My brother's actually an Arsenal fan, and I was brought up. I just liked good football, you know, the Roy Keane style football, and that's what we've kind of been growing up as. We really enjoy Gaelic football as a family, and that, so becoming a professional footballer was a big thing in the house too. So and I guess my parents got more into it then when I started playing, and kind of got to understand the game a bit more, and now they're all Reds fans, I guess.
Reds fans of Liverpool.
Yeah,
you've managed to convert your father around now.
Yes, he's a big fan now, and he likes watching the football. Maybe not my uncles and that, they still won't wear a jersey, but definitely my family.
To move to a club like Liverpool with the profile that it has, what else does that bring to a footballer?
I think like as a wee girl growing up playing football, like you want to play with the biggest clubs in the world, and everybody knows Liverpool has a great name, and it's one of the biggest clubs supporting wise and football wise in the world. So I think it's like a dream come true for me. It's just something I really wanted as a kid, and to be living my dream right now, it's just it's amazing, and I don't take any day for granted, because I know that I'm one of the lucky ones that can get this opportunity on a day-to-day basis.
And it's a club that's worked really hard to get the women's game to where it is now.
Yes, for sure. All you do is have to step foot outside Anfield and you see our faces all around, which is brilliant. And I think the club has really worked on that the last few years to kind of come together. And as you've seen Klopp's interviews too, he wants the women's team as one too, which is really nice that we have the support from the men's too, and the club overall. I think it's been pretty good the last few years. We're really kind of getting united, and it helps us out. Our fans and everything, they're brilliant, and it's just even the media guys behind the scenes and what they do. Well done, David. It's just been really good.
And you talk about Jurgen Klopp, that he talks so passionately, and he is very vocal with how he feels and how he watches the women's game and how it has developed as well.
Yeah, for sure. And like even it's just little things, like one of the girls had an interview with him last year, and he was like, oh, I seen your result against Durham, it was great, and I seen you's got them goals and everything, and he just knew, he was genuinely interested, and he knew about it all, which I feel like is a great start, that it's just not for show. He genuinely has a great interest in it, and he wants us as like a one family. And I guess that's where we're growing as a team too, because we know we have support in both sections.
The fact also with a team or with a club like Liverpool, it has its profile. TV companies obviously enjoy showing Liverpool matches. 2 of your games have already been selected, one of them being the Merseyside derby. I've mentioned it to the other players as well. There were like 23,000 here the last time Liverpool played Everton at Anfield, and you just know it's going to be more this time around.
Do you know the excitement you can even see in my face? I can't wait for that derby. We're really looking forward to it, and we just think, like, obviously the Euros was held this year in England, and it's really brought a lot of viewing to the game and to the WSL, and I think it's going to be brilliant, and hopefully we'll get a sellout now on September 25th.
You have that fan base already, and referencing the Euros, you just feel you guess there's going to be a follow-on from that in terms of fans wanting to see what they saw in the summer.
Yes, for sure. And I'm now a professional footballer going into my 5th year, and just a massive difference from when I started to now, fan base and media coverage and everything. And people's getting to realise that it's not women's football and men's football, it's football. And everybody wants to go watch football. And it's great, you go to the games and you see like wee kids with your name on the back of their shirt, and it's just like I'm inspiring people around me, and that's just a really nice feeling inside.
What's it like back home then when you go across the water?
It's actually mad. Like, I went in for a coffee the other day, and this mom came running into me and she goes, "Oh, Leanne, can I get a photo? Like, my kid is gonna like go mad that she wasn't here and she missed you." And I goes, "Yeah, of course." And this is my local town where like I'm just a country girl, happy just fitting in, and like people's coming over, running over to me for a photo, which is just quite nice, and that people are just genuinely interested and see like maybe my daughter can make it that far and make a name for themselves, which is quite nice.
So is that when you talked earlier about, in the 5 years that you've been here as a professional footballer, have you seen that development, you've seen that change back home?
Yeah,
in
for
Ireland?
Sure. Even like our international games, within 2 days the tickets are sold out, and I have like cousins and family being like, "Leanne, I missed the tickets, we can't come see you," which is like, it's not a bad complaint. Like, if you put it back 4 years ago, we were struggling maybe to get 4,000, where we're selling out stadiums of 12, 15, 20,000, which is quite nice.
What's that connection? I know you touched on it, yeah, the connection, because Liverpool, Ireland and Liverpool have that such strong bond between the city and the country. How does that how can you surmise that and put your own thoughts on that coming over here?
Do you know what? When I moved over first, I didn't realise how big a connection Liverpool was to Ireland. And everybody I've met that Scouse has somewhat relations in Ireland, or the grannies from somewhere in Cork or something. It's like mad. But no, it's really felt like home. I was down south for 3 years, and I don't know, but coming to Liverpool has just really felt like home. And somebody asked me the other day, like, what's the city like and everything? And I'm like, well, if you're Irish, everybody loves you. So I'm living on this. It's great, yeah.
So in a way, I guess it's like, you're coming from out in the country in Ireland, small, and people know you because it's, because they see you out and about and you're easily accessible. And then you come to a city like this, and I guess it just feels like something just down the road for you.
Honestly, yeah. And a lot of my family comes over to watch now because it's Liverpool and it's quite a good vibe in the city and that. And honestly, Ryanair is making a fortune these days. The whole of Cavan's been over, and of course Fahy's family. Irish have big families, so we like to come in packs. But it's just been brilliant, and it's really enjoyable, like having people just half an hour on a flight away to come see me. And I just feel at home, and my parents and family are quite happy that I'm in Liverpool, because they come over and they like the whole vibe, and they can see that I'm quite at home away from home.
So Leanne Kiernan there speaking to Juliet Farrington. There'll be a full Women's Super League preview on 5 Live Sport this Thursday. You'll hear from the likes of Steph Houghton, Alessia Russo, who's playing tonight on the new campaign. You can join Ben Hayes for that from 8 o'clock. But here we are in Stoke, and England are 5-0 up at the break against Luxembourg in their final World Cup qualifier, a game which they will hope to win with a 100% record going into the Australia and New Zealand World Cup. That is not that long away, actually, Laura Bassett, and it will be one of these things where the players will have that in the back of their minds this season, because they will do everything they can over this Women's Super League season to impress Serena Beekman for that competition coming up.
Yeah, that's right. And there's so much football to be played, Dean. I think, with your club football, some players have got Champions League, cup competitions, then international fixtures slotted in between that. So, yeah, I think these players just got to take a game at a time, but knowing if you play well, you keep fit and healthy, you have got that another tournament round the corner, which normally there's an extra year slotted in between, but because of the way it's situated, having the Euros closely followed by the World Cup is just a player's dream.
Well, the two teams on their way out. We have been watching Bethany England and Millie Bright both warming up, and they have got their bibs off, and it looks like they will be the changes at half-time. We're expecting that to be what happens. Katie Zellem actually also just taking her training top off, so could be a 3-change for Serena Wiegmann's England side, who, as we mentioned, 5-0 up at the break. Katie Zellem, who was brought in to the squad for these last 2 World Cup qualifiers, the Manchester United captain. So Bright, England and Zellem looking likely to be the 3 changes. Leah Williamson, Stanway, and I've actually missed the other one for England, but we will get that to you. And we were expecting a couple of changes, and we've got 3.
Yeah, that's right. And also, we're not used to changing at half time, are we? We're used to Serena Wiegmann's 60-minute changes, but for these 3 players, Zellem, Bright and England, it'll be fantastic. You've got enough time to come into the game, really stamp your authority, get used to having lots of touches on the ball, and really trying to make something happen, and trying to, like you say, state your claim. It's sometimes we saw in the Austria game only having a few minutes, 10 minutes. These players, especially Beth England, coming in, she'll want to get used to make her movements, make her mark on the game, and show the way that what she can add to this England team in the way she plays, what she can bring, and the types of goals that she can score.
So Alessia Russo was the other player to be replaced as they go through making their changes now. Luxembourg also set to make 2 changes of their own. Isabel Albert and Kelly Mendes, the 2 who will come on for them. So Marissa Marquez is off, and Mariana Magalhães is also off at one half of the twin pairing between Joanna and Mariana. So 2 changes for Luxembourg, 3 changes for England. We're about ready to get underway in the second half of this match. England leading by 5-0 in the first half. Georgia Stanway getting 2, and we are underway, and it's Luxembourg who get us underway, and straight away Bethany England making a pretty pacey run forward to put the pressure on Luxembourg. And this is one of the things, isn't it, why Serena Wiegmann probably has made the changes, as she wants to keep those energy levels up going in the second half.
That's right, the 3 players that are coming on, there'll be added communication, the energy levels, the intensity, and they'll certainly be wanting the second half to be at the same pace as the first half, with the same amount of attacks and goals, and certainly the vibrancy of play that they'll want to keep. That the energy levels are huge in games like this.
Well, Bronze has done well to get that run going, but she just, as she was running with it, trickled the ball out of play. Will be a goal kick, but again, early signs of encouragement from England as they look to get their first chance of the second half going. Just couldn't quite keep that ball in play. Lucy Bronze, as we mentioned, made her move to Spain in the summer, joining up with Barcelona. Be quite an interesting one for her, really, because she had such huge success, didn't she, with Lyon in France with the Champions League. Now she's got another test in the Champions League with Barcelona, who actually lost against Lyon in the last Champions League final. So a new test for her with a new club. It will be really interesting to see how she does that with that side, because a very up-and-coming team who are seemingly one of the most difficult teams to beat in Europe at the moment.
That's what, all credit to Lucy Bronze. I think over the years, knowing her personally, the leader that she's developed into is just incredible. She's real maturity now. She leads this team. She might not have the armband, but she's certainly a huge player for this team, and I'm sure it'll be so interesting, like you say, to see how she challenges herself in a different culture, different teams. I think that brings the best out of her. She'll know the language, she'll be able to speak the language, and that kind of wholeness really develops her as a person and player.
Beth Mead now on the left, looking to play it through to England, and it's 6. A lovely delivery in from Beth Mead, and Bethany England, all she had to do was tap it in, and she did just that. And England now 6-0 up against Luxembourg, and we've only played 2 minutes of the second half.
It was a nice little bit of play, wasn't it? I think if this could be Beth England's first or second touch. She was pressing the goalkeeper before, but actually vital touch. She's incredible. She stays in between the 2 centre backs, but it's all credit to Beth Mead. She faces up her Dos Santos, takes her on, and it's the willingness to play the ball in left-footed. She could easily check back on her right, but she decides to get in behind, deliver with her left foot, and it's a simple tap in for Beth England. Who'll be super happy for that, with that goal. Always great as a centre forward to score for your country.
It's her 10th goal for England. Bethany England. Very appropriately named, isn't she? To play in the squad. 21 caps. Her 7th goal as well in a World Cup qualifying, so the majority of her goals scored in an England shirt have come in this qualification campaign. Ball now with Rachel Daly through to Bright, who was one of the 3 changes at half-time, replacing the captain, Leah Williamson.
It's interesting, since Katie Zellam's come on, she's in the holding midfield role that we see Kira Walsh, but actually Kira Walsh now is a little bit higher up with Ella Toon in those advanced midfield positions to join in the play. Maybe we know her vision and passing is so good, but now she's a little bit higher up the pitch with that security of Katie Zellam behind, and we're used to seeing Katie Zellam play that position for Manchester United. But it'll be interesting to see how many assists or goals, we're still waiting for that elusive Kira Walsh goal. Can she get it tonight, now playing in a higher midfield role?
50th cap for England. What a way that would be to top it off if she did get her first England goal as well. And here she is, Walsh on the ball now. Does her typical Kira Walsh turn and finds Nikita Paris, who's just lets the ball get away from a bit of a heavy touch and runs out of play. Nikita Paris just signing for Manchester United this season from Arsenal. Of changes in around the Women's Super League this season, so that's why it gets so exciting, doesn't it, when all these new signings happening and transfers and things like that. So can't wait to see how the WSL gets underway this season. So England have got themselves a corner. Beth Mead with the delivery, looking for Nikita Paris, was right in front of the keeper, but the Luxembourg keeper Schliemann able to punch it away. And in the end, an effort from Ella Toon goes the distance.
Yeah, I think that's the moment when the ball sits up nicely, it's bouncing towards you. You see the goal quite far out and they've got loads of bodies in between, and you think shoot, but probably the better decision would have been to recycle the ball and play it back out to Beth Mead. But on nights like this, all credit to Ella Toon. You're going to try unpredictable things, and that certainly was.
Well, as the old cliche goes, can they do it on a wet and cold night in Stoke? But we're actually very lucky because it's mild.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
very
actually
mild.
really warm.
I was thinking, looking out my window this morning, it was stormy, it was rainy, and I thought, typical, isn't it? The day that England, the Lionesses, go to play at Stoke, it's raining and it's stormy, but the clouds quickly disappeared and the sunshine came through my window screen. So I thought, thank God, we will not be shivering as we commentate on this match.
I even checked my weather app. I was convinced it was going to be rainy and windy.
We can confirm there are days where it doesn't rain in Stoke. The long ball forward has just been left. It was trying to find Beth Mead, but too much on it. Will be a goal kick, and Lucy Schliemann, who was had to be involved in quite a lot of the action this evening. As we look to our screen, Serena Wiechmann is having a little giggle to herself. Someone must have just said something funny to her. And now Luxembourg looking to get a little bit of possession, but every time they seem to get a couple of passes together, England so quick to recover and get that ball back, as Paris looks to play it into England, but it was blocked out and away. Now an opportunity for Laura Miller to try and come forward, and she did well, but Beth Mead was coming in to try and take that ball away. Daly will take this throw in, and it finds Toon. Mead through to Toon, a little bit of space opening up now, falls to Kira Walsh, who's just on the outside of the D. Back through it goes to Mead and out to Katie Zellan, who just controls that ball and slows the play down a little bit more so England can get in their positions, find a little bit more space. Zellan through to Toon. This is Beth Mead. Mead weaves her way through. Wanted to try and squeeze it through that near post, but just hits the side netting.
Really good patient build-up from England. You're moving the ball simply, and sometimes the simple is just to keep the ball short, see the next pass, see the next body, and just give it to her. Lend the ball, and the space will open up. And yeah, that would have been a really well-worked team goal, but it just went into the side netting. I think Beth Mead's really using. This is probably the the game where I've seen her use her left foot the most. And that sometimes that might be an individual challenge or goal that she might have set herself to really try and work on it. Because normally we always see her cut back or deliver with her right foot, but actually some balls with her left foot have been good tonight.
Well, Rachel Daly was trying to squeeze her way through two of the Luxembourg players who just stood in the way. One of them, Charlotte Schmidt, who was had started in a higher role, but she has just drops back behind Magalhaes, as we were mentioning before. Luxembourg playing in that 4-4-1-1. In terms of formation, Laura, what's that like to play against when you've got a team that sets up like that?
Yeah, and sometimes you see the Luxembourg defence and there's a fifth player and a sixth player, and it's really difficult because all you do see is on tonight, for example, is light blue shirts wherever. When you receive the ball, there's one player, two player, so you really have to be patient. You think you can thread a ball through, but it easily gets cut off, so you really have to be clear in your mind, really clear decisions, and just sometimes, like I said, play the simple pass. Sometimes the simple pass is the most effective because it'll move those bodies, move that robust defence.
Well, Luxembourg have got themselves a throw-in just inside England's half, and it was taken by Jessica Becker, and quickly out for an England throw. And the TV cameras just showing us the face of the Luxembourg manager, Dan Santos, just in conversation with his technical staff, because of course these are all things that he will have to try and deal with in terms of heavy defeats, big score lines. Although that being said, Luxembourg themselves have been on the other end of a very big scoreline. They beat Tahiti 11-0 last year. One of the players for Luxembourg actually getting 5 goals in that game. Works both ways, really. Free kick then to England. And as we wait for this, you can hear the cheers. That is because there is a Mexican wave going around, which I think was at every single Euros match this summer, and they've carried it on again, although the boos have started because someone in one corner has stopped the Mexican wave. As the free kick comes in, bounces away, picked up by Bright on the edge of the area. Toon tries to get involved as well. Bright is there to nick that ball away. Bronze is trying to get involved too, but actually Luxembourg do really well to come forward with this, and now Albert can move that ball across. Magalhaes is making this run forward, but there's 4 England shirts who are ready to take this ball away, and it was easy enough in the end for Alex Greenwood to pick that ball from Joanna Magalhaes. And now the Mexican wave really has got going, much to Laura Bassett's dismay. Didn't know you were such a hater, Laura.
Yes, I'm not a fan of Mexican waves at grounds. I would be that party pooper that doesn't join in.
Now Ellie Roebuck at the back. And Joanna Magalhaes is just keeping her presence known at the back line of the England squad. But it's now Nikita Paris who can make that run forward. Bronze overlaps and picks up this ball. Cross it goes, looking for Beth Mead, who just can't quite keep it in play. There's too much on that ball, and it will be out for a goal kick.
It was interesting. Luxembourg probably got the highest up the pitch that they had. Ellie Roebuck had another touch, but sometimes that's easier to attack because the spaces are there. And it's a well-worked play by Nikita Paris and Lucy Bronze down that right-hand side, but just such a deep cross for Beth Mead to do anything on the other side.
Well, it was actually a big let-off for Ellie Roebuck, who, well, it looked a very comfortable control of the ball until it just slipped away from her. It was one of those Edison things that happen where you have to hold your breath. He's done it a couple of times, hasn't he? Edison for Manchester City. Ellie Roebuck almost doing the same thing, where she just let the ball slip away from her. She got there in the end before it was turned in. That would be one way to score, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. But I think that's when your concentration is going elsewhere. You're probably thinking about 2 or 3 other things rather than actually the ball travelling towards you.
Is that the danger, I suppose, when you're not involved in the match at all, that things like that can happen and they can catch you off guard?
Yeah, and maybe you relax, you calm, you compose, you're enjoying, you're soaking up the atmosphere, and maybe you're too relaxed. But you know, look, I've never seen Ellie Roebuck do that before, and maybe it's just sometimes it's one of those things. But she'll certainly be switched on now for the next half an hour.
England 6, Luxembourg 0. Almost reaching the hour mark here in Stoke for their final World Cup qualifier. Nice bit of play here from England, and it's Nikita Parris to make it 7. And it's a great finish from Nikita Parris on the right side, puts it in the far bottom corner past Lucy Shrimé, and England have hit 7.
That's probably my favourite goal of tonight, Peen. You know, really well worked, up, back, through, up to England, set to play the ball back into Nikita Parris. You know, lovely ball through from Toon. Nikita Parris has a touch, probably this in a similar position to her goal on Saturday, and she just rifles it bottom corner instead of top corner. Makes it look so simple, but really well. One touch passing. You know, makes it look like Luxembourg and mannequins. You know, that's how fast the ball's moving. And Nikita Parris with a celebration, she certainly enjoyed that. 2 in 2 England appearances for her after waiting a year to score that goal.
Exactly right. Scored against Austria on Saturday, Nikita Parris. Scores again today, and now they've got an opportunity to make it an 8th as Beth Mead was travelling forward and the interception came in, and it will be another England corner. Just looking at some of the match stats, you won't be surprised to know that England obviously dominating the possession, 84% as it stands. 22 shots England have had, 9 on target, 7 of them have gone in. So corner then for England, but before we do that, there will be 2 changes for England. Beth Mead, who scored the 5th goal for England, makes way, and it will be Lauren Hemp who replaces her, and Rachel Daly, who also got herself on the score sheet, is replaced by Demi Stokes. And they'll have to get involved quickly because England have got themselves a corner, and it will be Alex Greenwood who will take this for the Lionesses. Greenwood, good delivery in. Lucy Bronze was there, still not cleared away. And this time they can get it away with Schmidt, who just tried to get that forward. Tries to get that run again, but Demi Stokes, only been on the pitch a matter of seconds, getting straight involved and winning that possession back. Stokes through to Greenwood. Now Zellum. England looking for their 8th goal of the evening. They currently lead 7-0 to Luxembourg. Lauren Hemp looking to squeeze a way through and actually got the shot away. It was a dangerous effort. Well saved though by Schlieme.
And for the Luxembourg fullbacks tonight, you know, you see Beth Mead go off, you think, oh, I've got a rest, but then when you see the calibre and the quality of player of Lauren Hemp coming in, and you know, that's exactly what she can do. She cuts in field, she's so fast, so dynamic. You know, deliver the ball in early, and it's interesting to see Lauren Hemp's gone on the right, Nikita Parris is still on the left, so obviously, you know, to favour their foot, their preferred foot, they're going to come in field. You know, which gives more space for our fullbacks, Lucy Bronze, to get on the outside, and Demi Stokes on the left-hand side to get up and get on the outside and join in the attack.
So an hour in to this game, England leading 7-0 here on 5 Sports Extra. Alongside the former England defender Laura Bassett, watching this one here in Stoke. Ball finds Demi Stokes, plays it through to Parris. Too much on that pass though, and Parris had to get away from her, and out it goes by the Luxembourg captain Laura Miller. Well, I thought the ball had gone out, yet it did. Greenwood couldn't quite keep it in play, and it will be a Luxembourg throw. And Kimberly Dos Santos will take this. Well, I've got to mention Kimberly Dos Santos because she's had quite the evening tonight, having to stop the likes of Beth Mead, Nikita Paris now running down that left side, trying to stop the blocks from getting in. It's quite the job to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. You know, they all offer different things, different attributes. You know, push and run or cut inside. So, you know, she certainly would have been switched on. She would have done her homework, but, you know, coming up with a plan and a strategy to stop them is one thing, but actually executing on the night is something totally different. So, but she would have learned a lot tonight.
Bright with a nice ball over to Paris, who actually controlled it well, but as she did, she slipped and the ball got away from her. That's unlucky for Nikita Paris.
Yeah, she's full of confidence, isn't she? Controlling it on the outside of her boot in the air, but actually, and then losing her footwork in the last minute.
Greenwood through to Zellum, former teammates Katie Zellum and Alex Greenwood at Manchester United. It was Millie Bright who actually wanted to take a shot from distance. It was deflected before it could get any real pace onto it. And England just moving slightly higher up so they can open up the spaces again. Luxembourg have got themselves a throw with Jessica Becker. But again, Luxembourg just finding it difficult to get out of spaces. Toon picks it up. Now it's Nikita Paris on the edge of the area. Back through it goes to Lauren Hemp. Does well to get away from Isabel Albert from Luxembourg. Nice ball over from Zellum to find Bronze. Bronze cuts it across. It was actually spilled by the keeper but cleared away. Goal line clearance in the end it was. And this time Luxembourg can get it up the field only as far as Bright, but again opportunities flying in for England. Nikita Paris looking to play it through to Ella Toon. Couldn't quite stretch far enough. She was absolutely going for it, Ella Toon, but the goalkeeper just had enough on it to get it away from her.
You can feel Ella Toon really wants a goal tonight. She's got a few assists. She wants to get on the score sheet herself.
Greenwood plays it across. It is spilled by the keeper, but did enough in the end just to bobble that away.
Yeah,
Schliemann.
It looked like a foul on her as well when the cross came in. But good link up initially, and the Ella Toon chance, she just slid in. But I think she had to slide in because she didn't have the acceleration to chip the ball over the goalkeeper. But like I say, she's assisted quite a few of her teammates, but not quite got on the score sheet herself.
So Caroline Georges has been replaced by Julie Abreu for Luxembourg. Another change for them. Abreu actually played in every World Cup qualifier this campaign for Luxembourg, so quite a typical change at this point in the match for them. Didn't start the last game either against Northern Ireland. She has got 2 goals during this campaign, Abreu. 16-year-old off, 18-year-old on. Well, there's a nice atmosphere inside the stadium. The foam torches are starting to light up the stadium. I think we're going to get a couple more as well, which always looks very pretty.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I prefer foam torches to Mexican waves, Peen. I'll accept that.
Now a chance for Luxembourg to come forward. It was Laura Miller who was able to carry that ball. Magalhaes will put the pressure on Ellie Roebuck as she's just hanging around that area. Ellie Roebuck getting herself involved, which she hasn't really had anything to do in the game at all, but does have to keep her concentration. Bright tries to play it through. Not sure where that was going. It went New England players waiting for it. Walsh. This is Toon through to Paris, and Paris couldn't squeeze her way through. Just looking to get a little bit more possession at the moment, Luxembourg, which they hadn't been allowed to do at all in the first half. Having a little bit more luck in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. I can't remember the last passage of play where they've had 4 or 5, 6 passes. It's more been 1-2 passes, or Miller's had a dribble or carried the ball 10-15 yards and then been dispossessed. So, but all credit to this Luxembourg team, the players, their body language is good, their energy levels, they're running, they're working for each other. So huge credit. I haven't seen, I've seen many teams in the past give up, be frustrated, stop running. But all credit to these young players. We've already said how young they are, 16, 18-year-olds. They're trying to execute the game plan, be competitive, and they're making it difficult for England tonight, considering their golfing quality and golfing experience.
Well, the phone torches have certainly doubled in the amount that we see, which it is a very nice picture. Little lights glittering across the stadium here in Stoke as the dark sky is above us, the big bright floodlights beaming down onto this football ground. Our producer Gary Flintoff also getting his phone out, joining in.
I just hope he don't start singing like he's at a concert.
You just hope he doesn't join in on the Mexican wave, Laura.
I'd trip him up or give him an elbow.
Bronze through to Lauren Hemp. Bronze gets away from Albert. It was one of the changes in the second half. Nice bit of play for Bronze to find Hemp on the right side, who's making a way inside, looking to cut it through to England. And eventually, well defended. And this is what is tricky for England, is that there are about 8 or 9 Luxembourg players every single time in the penalty area looking to get the ball away.
That's it, and that's what them early crosses, the Leah Williamson, when she crossed it first time, she didn't have a touch. Those early crosses, early balls, they're really difficult to mark. Luxembourg can't get the numbers back in the 18-yard box to defend. So the earlier you do it, the more likely we are to have a chance, have a goal, and really test the keeper.
Bronze looking to chase this down, actually almost keeps it in play. And I suppose that is the commitment that Serena Wiegman wants to see from her players, that no matter where the ball is, you're working, you're fighting to get that ball back in your possession. That's exactly what Lucy Bronze does. It's actually really unfortunate that it just rolled out of play, because she did really well to get there. Yeah,
she did. If it would have come off the back heel, I think it just would have gone to the keeper or Luxembourg defender, because I don't think any English player was up there supporting. But yeah, it was cheeky. Good effort from her.
Greenwood in the centre circle, finding Demi Stokes on the left. Back out it goes to Bright. Walsh, and as Walsh was trying to pass that ball through to Zelen, it was picked up by Laura Miller, one of the players who's had quite a lot of involvement in that Luxembourg squad. Just 20 years old, but the captain. The side, Dos Santos was trying to chase it down on the right side to get something forward, but Katie Zelen has the ball back in her possession, just inside the England half. Now it's Bright, plays it into the feet of Bethany England, who scored only moments after coming on. And now Hemp on the right side, making that pacey run infield, finding Walsh, who is dispossessed in the end. And the two Luxembourg players who were going for it actually just ran into each other and made a mess of that. Back out it goes to Hemp, and now Bright. England patiently building up to what they hope will be an 8th goal. Toon hoping to squeeze her way through. She's desperately searching to get in on the action as well, Ella Toon, but it's Paris now on this left side as she goes in, and it's another penalty to England. Nikita Paris was making her way inside the area, and she gets fouled by Ebreu, who had only been on the pitch moments after being a substitute that's come on, and she just nicks the legs of Nikita Paris, and it's another penalty. And this time it will be Ella Toon who has an opportunity to get on the score sheet for England. Toon steps up, Ella Toon scores. How about that for a penalty? Cool, calm and collected, gets it into the bottom corner. The goalkeeper went the wrong way. England have got an 8th goal. England 8, Luxembourg 0. And we've still got 20 minutes to go.
Like you say, a really well executed penalty from Ella Toon. The keeper goes the opposite way this time. It's right in the corner, good pace. And all credit to Nikita Paris as well. She had 2-3 defenders. She twists and turns, managed to draw the foul, and it was a clear penalty. She clips her legs. But you can just tell now England players are starting to take 2, 3, 4 touches and getting crowded out, so they need to be careful. Either get in the 18-yard box and draw the foul, get another penalty like they've seen twice before, or lay it off. It's starting to get a little bit sluggish. They're not as clean as what they were previously in the first half especially.
England 8, Luxembourg 0 in this final World Cup qualifier, live on 5 Sports Extra. 73 minutes on the clock. England in the goals. They are comfortably leading this game, and they will be qualified for the World Cup with a 100% win record. Bronze with the ball on the right, lays it off to Zellem, and then it's back out to Bright, who finds it into the centre circle in Greenwood, through to Bright. And Millie Bright, one of the players who was part of the team of the tournament. Oh no, she wasn't. She was actually pretty, well, I thought she was pretty unlucky not to make the team of the tournament. Nikita Paris was looking to come in on that left side. I suppose that was one of the talking points, wasn't it, that having won the Euros and all these players getting into teams of the tournaments, players of the match and that kind of thing, but Millie Bright, one of those players that is always such an important part of the Lionesses squad. Miller weaving away back through and finding Harver, who actually played it back to a keeper, put a little bit of pressure on, because Beth England, who was that second half substitute, still has so much energy to go forward. Keep that pace up, keep that energy up within this side. England, who are leading 8-0, 15 minutes to go. Games like this, Laura, is there before you go into this game in training, does Serena Wiegman think to herself, we could try something different, we could try something I wanted to try that you couldn't risk doing in the Euros?
Maybe not in terms of team shape and the principles that they like to work on. You know, you've got to remember, an international team, they only meet up for a certain amount of days in the year, so that it's not like a club team that you're in every day and you can really try and affect players. You know, tomorrow these players will be going all over the world, going back to their club teams respectively, and maybe playing a different position and being asked to do different things. So, you know, I don't think Serena Wiegman would have tweaked too much, not from what we've seen tonight. Maybe given players more playing time earlier, like we saw the substitutions at half time, and like I say, maybe about the set pieces being a little bit more creative. But on the whole, no, I don't think England teams and international teams have that much time to mess up and try different things. It's more just about, you know, maybe playing with confidence, playing with a freer mind, and just going out and expressing yourselves rather than worrying about the opponent.
Well, Luxembourg have got themselves a free kick. It was a foul from Millie Bright onto Joanna Magalhaes, who has been one of the only lone strikers really for Luxembourg in this game. But an opportunity now. Luxembourg with their first free kick of the match. It will be taken by Isabel Albert, who's one of the second half substitutes. The delivery found the head of Bright, who was able to get it away. Now Walsh plays it through the back, and England comfortably able to deal with that. And you could really tell, Laura, because Luxembourg didn't commit very many players forward for that free kick, did they?
No, that's right. I think De Santos, the right back, which was the opposite side of the pitch to where the free kick was saying play the ball round, because there was 4 defenders still on the halfway line. So really interesting to see what the general message of the team was in that attacking position.
Hemp was making her way through. The block came in by Dos Santos to get the ball away. Will be a throw in to England. Stokes ready to take And unfortunately for you, Laura, there is another Mexican wave going round.
I'm choosing to ignore it and look at Nikita Paris has gone back on the right and Lauren Hemp back on the left.
Yeah, talk tactics.
No, I'm sure they're enjoying. I'm sure the crowd are thoroughly enjoying themselves. And why not? We're 8-0 up. Enjoy the moment.
Exactly. It is the European champions back in action. 37 days after that triumphant win. Walsh plays it through now to Hemp. Looks to cross it into England, who was waiting for it, but it took a deflection off Creamer, and it will be another corner.
But as an England fan, we do have to celebrate and enjoy these moments, don't we? Because we do go through a journey of football, the ups and downs. So when you are up, when you are European champions, and when you are scoring goals freely, as a football fan, as an England fan, you do thoroughly have to enjoy the moment and celebrate them wildly. So all credit to the crowd.
So Luxembourg making 2 more changes. Jessica Becker, who has been quite heavily involved on that left back position for Luxembourg, trying to stop the runs coming in from the likes of Lucy Bronze, Beth Mead, Nikita Paris. She makes way for Noemi Tiberi, and Edina Kokan comes on for Joanna Magalhaes. Just in time for both those players to defend this England corner. England who lead by 8-0, and we are reaching the 80-minute mark. Greenwood with the ball in, leaping header, just inches over by Lucy Bronze, who I think she's looking at that, can't quite believe that didn't go in, because it really was centimetres away.
Yeah, it was a great ball by Alex Greenwood, really well timed by Lucy Bronze. She times her run, when she sees the ball, sees the flight, she goes hard and fast and attacks it. Really hard to stop. Like I say, I think she was a little bit disappointed that she didn't connect and make a goal there.
Well, Lucy Bronze covered more ground than any England player in the Euro 2022 tournament, 57.8 kilometres. She was nominated for the Ballon d'Or along with Millie Bright and Beth Mead. A lot of people questioning as well why Keira Walsh wasn't on that list, because what an impact she has as a player.
Well, I think with her 50th cap tonight, I think with every single cap, every single tournament, she's become better and better. And to think she's only still so young, you know, we've still got 3-4 tournaments with her as the heartbeat of this team, is so exciting.
Lauren Hemp now on the left-hand side, looking to cut it through, just missed the feet of Beth England, who was arriving in the box, just went behind her actually. But it was a lovely movement, right into space for Lauren Hemp. Really, Luxembourg are, when they defend, quite narrow, aren't they? They allow England those spaces on the wings and the space to try and come forward. Bronze with the ball through to Nikita Paris. Stolen away from her by Albert, but back out it goes to Millie Bright. Luxembourg have a player down, so Keira Walsh plays the ball out, and it gives them an opportunity to have a look at what the problem is. I think it might be Kelly Mendes. It is Kelly Mendes, who just collided with Lucy Bronze. Well, we've heard the attendance inside this stadium, 24,174 here tonight. We heard there were travel issues, some people that did have tickets struggling to get to the stadium because of the traffic that was stopping them from getting here. But 24,000, over 24,000 inside this stadium, and what a way to welcome the Lionesses back after that win.
Yeah, I'm sure each and every one of them have had a fabulous evening. Not finished yet either. You know, just to celebrate every goal, every performance. You know, absolutely fantastic. I'm sure a lot of these fans now will travel up and down the country to follow these girls, these celebrities, these household names. Let's hope they carry on and support them in their league season too.
Women's Super League getting underway, starting this weekend. You'll be there, won't you, Tottenham against Manchester United at the brand new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Yeah, really interesting. The first game being played on the Saturday, the only game. It'll be a fantastic tie. Like you were saying earlier, Pien, always interesting to see how new players start at their new club. Is it going to work out? What are the teams going to look like? How are they shaping up? So the first game of the season for a fan is exciting, but for a player, you just want to get out there and get that first game out the way.
Luxembourg with the throw in. Dos Santos takes it and loses out as she kicks the ball out of play. So England bidding to become only the 5th nation to win the World Cup after USA. They've got 4 wins to their name. Germany 2, Norway 1, Japan 1 as well. England very much in amongst the favourites for next year's World Cup. Australia and New Zealand. Can't wait for that, especially after the success of Euro 2022, not only because they've won it, but also the amount of crowds that they got into it, the amount of people that got involved. It was an amazing tournament, and just like you said, Laura, hopefully that momentum keeps on going. Bright playing that ball forward, looking for Paris. Actually comes out of it the better. Paris through to Lauren Hemp. Now Ella Toone finding Stokes. And Toone again, who was desperate, you could tell, to get on the score sheet. Got herself on there, making that 8th goal for England from the penalty spot. 5 minutes to go until we hit the 90. England 8-0 up here on 5 Sports Extra in their final World Cup qualifier. The next game that England will be playing, which we can't wait for, is against the USA, and what a test that will be. Serena Wiegman already talking about how excited she is for that one. She'll probably already be thinking about how she's going to set up for it, what players she wants to pick, and I'm pretty sure every player in this England squad will want to have a starting place in that team.
Yeah, that's right. I think she'll certainly be.
Oh, they've been dispossessed here. England bright at the back, an opportunity now for Luxembourg to come forward. It's Laura Miller, the captain, who was making her way through, did really well actually to hold on to the ball, but eventually England were able to sort themselves out, organise them, but again probably a lack of concentration at the back where they thought it was comfortable, and Laura Miller made her way through and looked dangerous.
Yeah, she really did. Especially this late on, and you can tell that the Luxembourg players are tired. They're looking at the clock, but all credit to them to get so high up together, really cause a problem. But again, it's just that lack of quality, that lack of cutting edge that sees the attack fizzle out.
Walsh. Bronze with the ball into Hemp. Quickly cut out there by Dos Santos. And another corner kick for England. And the Toone just slowly making her way over to the corner flag. It will be Greenwood who takes this. And it goes to Katie Zeller. Looks to place it across to Bright, who's there. Oh, and Nikita Paris, who had an open goal. She was inches away from the goal. Somehow has the ball off target.
Yeah, really well worked corner. Alex Greenwood straight back to Katie Zellum, who's got good delivery from set pieces herself. She goes deep to Millie Bright, who heads it back. It's a great win from Millie Bright. Goalkeeper makes a good save, and it just finds it's there at Nikita Paris' head. I can't get my words out. It was that easy, but look, I mean, I think I've seen her reaction. She went to pretend to punch the post. She'll be really disappointed. She's an ultimate competitor, striker. She wants to score goals. She can't score enough goals, so she'll be disappointed. But sometimes you have to take the light-hearted moment out of things. But that would have been a really well-worked set piece. That would have been a really good goal for England to score.
Not so bad though when you're already winning 8-0. Suppose she can let herself off for that one. She won't want to see it back though, because she genuinely was in front of an open goal. and somehow just got it wrong.
I'm sure some of her teammates will show her, though, the character
Really?
that Nikita Paris is. Yeah, she's very jovial.
Is that what players do? If you have a terrible miss, they just play it back to you. That's awful.
Well, sometimes if they're trying to mock you, or trying to getting a bit ahead of themselves, or saying that they've scored a hat-trick in training, you just thought, well, how about this one that you missed against Luxembourg in the last few minutes?
I tell you what was on the England social media was some little bit of trickery that Kira Walsh did in training. I mean, it was beautiful. What, to be able to pull that out in training. I suppose you're a little bit more relaxed, aren't you, when you're in training, but that just shows pure class, doesn't it, from her?
Yeah, with that footwork and pirouetting, she needs to be on Strictly Come Dancing sooner rather than later. It was sensational. I'd urge anyone who hasn't seen it to get on the Lioness's Twitter feed and check it out.
So another corner then for England, and this time a different taker, Katie Zellem, who sets herself. Zellem with a delivery in, was a decent one as well, headed away by Dos Santos for Luxembourg, and England go again with another corner. We've got 1 minute to go until we hit the 90. England leading by 8-0 against Luxembourg in their final World Cup qualifier. Zellem with a deep delivery across. The header was there from Bronze, who tried to keep that chance alive. And it will be another corner, but this time on the other side. And it will be Greenwood who will take this. We will be finding out in the next 20 seconds or so how much time will be added on. Greenwood, as she sets the ball down, gets a huge round of applause from the fans in that far corner here inside the stadium. Delivery comes in, Bronze was there, tapped in, there it is, Lauren Hemp was there on the rebound. 9 goals for England, just on the 90-minute mark. Lauren Hemp to tap in the rebound. England 9-0 up against Luxembourg.
Again, I think we've seen the quality of delivery from Alex Greenwood all night. Great first contact from Lucy Bronze, gets it into an area, goalkeeper makes a good save, and there's Lauren Hemp just waiting to pounce. She's unmarked and she's not missing from there.
Goal for England, scored by number 17.
And Lauren Hemp will be really pleased to get on the score sheet after coming on at half-time.
We're into 2 minutes added time. And England, who before this game had scored 70 goals in their World Cup qualifier, they're on 79 now. They're looking to make it 80, and they're looking to make it 10 here tonight. Zellem, nice little turn to squeeze her way through. Bronze will try and pick up on it. She's actually kept the ball in play, and she hasn't gone out for a corner.
The crowd are cheering, we want 10. We're demanding now as England fans, aren't we? We've been spoilt with so many goals.
Well, they've got 30 seconds to do so, England. They beat Luxembourg in the reverse fixture 10-0. They are currently leading 9-0. And we've got 30 seconds to go until the 2 minutes of added time are up. Good delivery, and it is 10! Beth England scores the 10th goal for England. And just like the reverse fixture, England have beaten Luxembourg by 10-0. They've scored 80 goals in the World Cup qualifying campaign. They've hit double digits, and it's Beth England who gets her second of the night.
This is a fabulous corner from Katie Zellem. An outswinger, it's flat, it's good to attack. And Bethany England actually does her movement. She doesn't really move from the spot, but she times the jump well, connection, directs it goal bound with so much power.
Well, there we go. The full-time whistle has blown. The fans inside this stadium are up on their feet to applaud. An electric England performance, who have beaten Luxembourg by 10-0. They did it in the reverse fixture. They've done it again tonight. What a welcome back for the European champions. 37 days on from bringing football home. They well and truly are living up to their name. England, who just can't stop scoring. It's a tough night for Luxembourg, who in their first ever major tournament qualifiers are beaten heavily. But you have to say, England with another ruthless performance, exactly what Sarina Wiegman wanted to see. And we hit double digits, Laura Bassett.
Yeah, it's always a great night when you hit double digits. And again, that we go on about the goals scored, but that defensive record, not to concede a goal in World Cup qualifiers, that shows the maturity, the experience, the class of this team. So, they thoroughly deserve gold. We've seen a lot of good performances, considering the stage of the season we're at, but these girls there's big smiles on the faces, lots of hugs, and they can go around, thoroughly enjoy this crowd now and really connect to the fans.
Well, I'll talk you through the goal scorers. 10 of goals, but we had the first one from Georgia Stanway, which was a penalty. Then Alessia Russo got in on the action as well. Georgia Stanway getting a second goal for her, making it 3-0. Rachel Daly also on the score sheet, making it 4-0. Bethany within a minute made it 5-0. Bethany England within a minute of the second half, as she was a second half substitute, made it 6. She also scored just then to make it 10-0. Nikita Paris, Ella Toon from the spot, Lauren Hemp also getting in on the goals. What a night it has been for the Lionesses, who have well and truly made their mark. A big smile on the face of Sarina Wiegman, who asked for a ruthless performance. They have absolutely delivered that. England qualify with a 100% record, and that is sending a message, Laura Bassett, to the rest of the teams for the World Cup next year.
Well, it is, especially because there's, although there wasn't pressure on the England team tonight in terms of they didn't need a result, but there is a pressure to perform, put on a show. These fans want to see goals, performances, good quality playing, and that's exactly what these fans deserved. And look, there's a lot of expectation in terms of performance, and these players know it, and they're just thriving in the moment now.
Laura Bassett, thank you very much for your company this afternoon. England 10-0 winners against Luxembourg in their final World Cup qualifying match. Right now, though, we are going to be heading back to New York, where Ons Jabeur is taking on the unseeded Ayla Tomljanovic for a place in the semi-finals. Watching on Naomi Brodie and Russell Fuller.